Okay, today I am going to see how the Whip and Mix does with a regular box cake mix. I've got a chocolate fudge Betty Crocker cake mix. You know, all it calls for is water, vegetable oil, and eggs. If you're not familiar, this is a new product of Tupperware's. It's got a lot of really neat features to it. For one, it's got a nice little just measurement cut basically right here. It's very deep. It's got a little skid pad on the bottom of it so it won't slide around. And the top here, the top in general, it's got this knob that you turn it and you can see all of these little, I guess we would call them like whisks or paddle. I'm not quite sure what you would want to call them, but they spin around as you turn the top. And that's what's going to mix up the cake. There's two levels here. Let me get a little closer, where you can have it at a level 1 or at a level 2, and that determines the intensity of the spinning. So it's basically like a hand mixer without the cord. So we're gonna give it a try and see how well it does with our box cake mix. So right here I've got my chocolate cake mix in the bag. I'm just gonna pour it in. Put it in right there. Get that out of the way. And then we're gonna add our water. This is 1 1/4 cup of water, 1/2 cup of oil. And then we have 3 eggs. I've already cracked them. They're in there. So it's pretty full. Let's see how it does. Get those out of the way. And then this just kind of goes right on in. Snaps on down. Make sure I've got it sealed all the way around. And let's see how well we mix. So we're just gonna turn it. You might have to scrape the edges just like you would in a bowl even, or a regular mixer. It looks on the outside like it's not mixing things very well, but we'll have to take a look and see what it looks like on the inside, because I always have to scrape the edges in my regular bowls. And I can't imagine that this would be much different. Oh yeah, it's actually mixing pretty well. And scrape around the edges all the way around. Most of this is actually mixed up. Just the sides of the container. Stick that back down. And mix again. It's very quiet compared to a mixer. That's for sure. Let me get one more scrape in. Set that over there so I don't make a big mess. Down the edges all the way around. On the bottom. I mean, it's pretty well mixed. It's hard for me to show you here, but as far as cake mixes go, pretty well mixed up. We'll do this one more time. And this is taking me for about, what, a minute, really? Even with the scraping. It's getting a little, let's see what happens when oh, that's easier. Look at that. Switch our levels. That looks good. So I would say yes, it does mix a cake mix up very well. Now I've got an actual pan that is greased and ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna put this in the oven and we're gonna bake it. And then when I pull it out, we will see how evenly it baked based on how well it was mixed. But look at that, isn't that nice to just be able to pour that right on out? And I can show you the inside. There's no dry patches on the inside. So our paddle here, our spatula, worked really well to make sure that things stayed mixed up. Who doesn't like chocolate cake? I feel sad for you if you don't like chocolate cake. All right, when the cake is done, I'll come back on and we'll see what our result is. Thanks. Okay, so we baked our chocolate cake and used our whipping mix to get it mixed up, stuck it in the oven, and here is our finished result. Cake looks really good. There's a little dip right there, but I'm pretty sure that's because I was getting a little impatient and I kept opening up the oven, which you're not supposed to do when you're baking. So, the lesson of this demo is that the whipping mix does a great job. Definitely recommend. I think it was great and it was easy. It took me probably a minute and a half to mix everything up and be done. So yeah, really great. And it smells really good in here. So if you like chocolate cake, you're missing out. Thanks, guys.